So, Squid Game. One of the most intense shows I've ever watched, and might be my favorite K-drama of all time. Roll the intro. Welcome to the Cinematic Aficionado YouTube channel. My name is Quinsola KK, the Cinematic Aficionado, and this is my tiny corner of the internet. So today we're going to talk about what is probably the #1 trending show on your Netflix, my Netflix, everybody's Netflix, Squid Game. Now, I watch K-dramas frequently. Editing Quinsola here to say that it's more than frequently. I'm not going to say it's all I watch, but I watch it enough. I have at least always one K-drama running on my currently watching, so she's not telling like the 100% of the truth, basically. Frequently enough that Netflix will recommend any new K-drama to me regardless of genre. If it is made in Korea, Netflix is like, hey, you'll probably want to watch this, and they're not wrong. I tend to like decide what new K-dramas to watch based on what is new on Netflix. That's how I watch Love, Featuring Marriage and Divorce, which I will review when I'm done with this. So when I saw it, I was like, okay, cool, that's a K-drama to add to my list. I think I added it to my list and I kind of left it. Then it popped up everywhere. And I mean everywhere. Everybody and their grandmother has watched this show. Even people that I know that don't watch K-dramas have watched this show. And someone said, oh, this is the best Korean show they've ever watched. And I knew that I had to watch it. So I did. I finished it in 24 hours. Now, I'm not a binger, not really. I don't want to say I like to take my time because that's not 100% true. But if I watch maybe 5, 6, 7 episodes, I may get a bit like flustered and just it's a bit much for me. So I'll switch to something else. I'll just take a break. So it can take me, 3-4 days to watch a show that would take someone one. Now this, I watched it in one sitting. I'm also not the kind of person that would lose sleep over watching a show, because to me it's not that deep. I can just continue tomorrow. So I went to bed, woke up, continued. I started it at I think like 9 p.m. 2 days ago. I finished it at maybe like 6 p.m. yesterday. I was that enthralled, that just hyper focused on everything that was going on. And listen, this show, wow. If you are a fan of Saw, Game of Thrones, I'm trying to think of there's nothing else that I can think of that is similar to this, but like Saw and Game of Thrones, Saw especially, it is like Saw but without the just unnecessary, gratuitous violence and just the Saw is too much. I've never watched a movie in its entirety and I'm not going to, but this has the right amount of violence and gore while also being really emotional. Episode 6. Now, I'm not going to spoil I'm not going to spoil the show. This isn't a spoiler review. However, I'm just going to kind of talk about my thoughts, my feelings, and just the overall vibe of the show. Now, if you haven't seen Squid Game, you're probably wondering what is the premise of this show and why should I watch it. Basically, the show is a survival show that takes, how many participants was it? Let's just say 500. It takes 500 people on the brink of financial ruin and puts them through these really intense games for money. Now, when you hear survival show, you know that it's only one person that's going to walk away with the money. The money is 45 billion won, which is the equivalent of $38.7 million. And you're taking people who owe millions of dollars in debt to banks, loan sharks, their family members, people who have used their parents' houses as collateral for business deals, people in really, 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 really dire straits. And you're saying, here, play red light, green light for the potential to win enough money for you and your kids to be fine. Chaos will ensue, and that is exactly what happens. This show is the definition of chaotic. Because initially, when the show starts, you as the viewer are like, something isn't quite right. But they say, you know what? Here, let's play a game. Would you like to play a game? And if you win, you get this huge sum of money. It said it's 6 games. I'm not going to tell you what all the games are, but the first game, which is showing the first episode, is red light, green light. And you're thinking, the crazy thing about Squid Game and the entity that is running this competition, let's say, is that the rules are annoyingly simple, like freakishly simple, but the consequences are dire. I'm not going to tell you what those consequences are. Watch the trailer, watch the show. But you as the viewer are like, not that you would want to be in that situation, because I know that I would leave, because you do have the option to leave. But you as the viewer are like, well, the rules aren't that crazy, given the craziness of the situation. And I think the show poses a lot of moral questions of what would someone with nothing do for everything? The answer is anything. And it's really poetic. Is that the word? Is poetic the right word to use to describe this show? I don't know. But it's really thought-provoking in that you have people who are, morally righteous, like you and I would assume that we are, do reprehensible, morally corrupt things, and you have people who are morally corrupt doing even more morally corrupt things. Nobody in this show, at the beginning anyway, is a inherently good person. Like, you have people who have severe gambling debts, there are people who have literally signed away their kidneys. It's a mixed bag, and because of that, you as the viewer know that given the situation, ish is gonna go left, and it does fast. I feel like that is like a mild spoiler, but trust me when I say I have not given away that much. I'm not gonna sit here and say, okay, this is like a major character study, but I really, really think that after watching the show, it will make you ask a few moral questions, like, what would you do in this situation? Again, I can't say for sure what I would do, but if approached by the salesman and given that freakish card, I would burn it and leave the country, because I don't want this, please. No, thank you. I don't want any parts in it. The interesting thing about trying to talk about this show is that it's really hard to talk about it without spoiling. And you're probably thinking, what's the point of this video that I'm literally filming right now? The point of it is to get you to go watch it. That's literally the point. And the point of it is, I guess I would love to have a discussion in the comment section about what your thoughts are if you have watched it. For me, generally, the one takeaway is just the moral question that the show poses. What would people who have nothing do for everything? And I also think the simplicity of the games that they're playing, juxtaposed with the dire consequences, is both, for lack of a better word, hilarious and terrifying. I mean, you literally have them playing a game of red light, green light, like you played in kindergarten. Also, I do not speak fluent Korean, but I can hear like the tune that was used to say red light, green light. I'm not gonna say it now because I would butcher the phrase, and I'm not gonna do that, but I can hear it in my head, and I kind of kept humming it to myself. It's like, something like that. I'm very sorry to anyone who speaks Korean. That was very bad. I'm very sorry. I'll try and fix the pronunciation. But it's very, I don't want to say entertaining, but like, it's entertaining in the same way The Hunger Games is. Think of this game, Squid Game, and this entire show and this entire entity as The Hunger Games. Only one person comes out of like 500 people that go in. And the twist at the end is both really random and kind of horrifying, and also very similar in and of itself to the idea and the ideology of the Hunger Games. I've kind of left a little hint. If you're very familiar with the Hunger Games, you'll kind of have a vague idea of what that theme is. But all in all, this show is very, 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 very good. I'm not going to do a breakdown of each episode because, again, this isn't a spoiler video. If you want me to do a spoiler video, let me know. one. But this show is just very good. It's very well acted. The CGI is very good, and the beauty of the CGI and the combination of visual effects is that it's juxtaposed so well that you don't even notice. I know there is CGI in the show, but it's done very well. Also, I like how this story subverts expectations, because there's certain things that you expect to go one way and the show is like, no. Now, there are certain story structures and story beats that we as viewers are used to that still prevail in the show, but I think that there are a lot of surprises. And even though you know at the very end that only one person can win, because that's how these games are played, you really do fall in love with the characters. I'm not going to spoil it, I'm not going to name names, because I feel like if I do, you'll know who to look out for. But if you have seen the show, episode 6. That's all I'm going to say, episode 6. But it's a really, it's such an interesting show because it's funny, very sad, very intense, very thought-provoking, but very fun to watch, which kind of makes me feel like a terrible person to say that the context of the show is fun to watch. But knowing that it's a fictional thing kind of helps because it's not real. But again, just seeing the way that these people interact with each other given the circumstances and what they could stand to win is just insane. This video as a whole is like, you're probably watching this being like, I've literally just spent like however long this video is just saying nothing. And I truly have spent like 10-20 minutes just saying nothing. But I just wanted to say, just watch the show. It's really good. And again, if you want me to do a spoiler video, please let me know. I'll make literally any video you want me to make, just let me know down below. But it's honestly one of the best Korean shows I've ever watched, because I don't really want to call it a K-drama. I think K-dramas have their own genre. K-dramas are a genre of show on their own, and I just don't think this falls into K-drama. Like, I consider, you know, like Startup a K-drama. I consider The King Eternal Monarch a K-drama. That being said though, K-dramas also encompass Korean TV, but I just feel like this is so outside of the mold of what I, as a new K-drama watcher, is used to, and what I'm sure a lot of K-drama watchers are used to. But it is truly very good. If you do want to get into Korean programming, I would say this is where to start. Again, I have friends who don't really watch K-dramas like that, who were completely obsessed with the show from beginning to end, who watched everything in one sitting. This is a great way to kind of get into the culture. And also, it's dubbed in English. If you find subtitling very awkward, then it show is dubbed in English. Personally, I have no problem with it. As a great man once said, once you get over the 1-inch barrier of subtitles, you'll be introduced to a whole new world. Listen, Academy Award winner Bong Joon-ho right there, which is honestly very true. So if you have issues with subtitles, the show is dubbed in English. But I would say watch it in Korean. I think you get more of the nuance that way, especially with the way that people interact with each other. I understand bare minimum Korean, very little. So from someone like me who understands a little bit, I can hear like the language patterns, speech patterns, the way people respond to each other when 반말 and 존댓말 is used with individuals. I think it's very interesting. Also, mild spoiler, but you see him in the first episode, having a Pakistani character just warms my heart personally, because again, I've only been watching K-dramas for a year, but seeing the diversity in newer K-dramas, seeing, you know, black people, white people, Asian people that aren't from Korea, it's really nice to see the diversity. Now, I'm not saying every K-drama needs to have, you know, other people in it because, you know, they're made in Korea. It's not necessary, but just, you know, seeing characters come in from all over the world, it's really nice. There is a teacher off topic in True Beauty that he was black, and I was like, oh my god, it's a black person in the K-drama. I got really excited. But yeah, this is my really disjointed speech, rant, conversation about Squid Game, and just the questions that it raised for me personally as a viewer, the things I thought while watching it. And this is just me telling you, just go and watch Squid Game. Okay? Just go watch Squid Game. because honestly it's 9 hours or 8.5 hours well spent. Trust me, just watch it in one night. Who needs sleep? You can sleep after you've watched the show, and then you can just go watch another drama, because I'm telling you, once you start, yeah, that's it for you. I started with Romance is the Bonus Book, and here I am 1 year later about to start So Not Worth It and or Crash Landing on You. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Tap the notification bell. I have a review for Love, Featuring Marriage and Divorce coming, and a few other things. Also, I went to see No Time to Die today. That's why I'm wearing a blazer. I am sweating in it, but I look good. So yeah, don't forget to like, share this video. Tap on the link in my bio to read my latest review. Hopefully by the time you're watching this, my review for No Time to Die will be out. And yeah, hope to see you in the next video. Bye.